Hi everyone, welcome to the episode. I find myself in this peaceful nature reserve on the outskirts of The Hague in the Netherlands, and I've luckily timed the video just with the blooming of the heather in mid to late August. So this place is really peaceful, and because the Netherlands is so busy, it doesn't have many people to jump into my shot. This video is about how I make my money using my smartphone, and specifically uploading stock footage and stock photos to the stock agencies, or the microstock agencies. For those who don't know me, my name is Andrew Balcom, if you're new to the channel, and I've been uploading stock photos and footage also with my stills camera and video camera for the last 5 years, and it supplements my income with my day job. So what I wanted to emphasize in this video is that if you want to make money and you have a smartphone, then one of those ways you can make money without great cost to you is by just videoing subjects and photographing subjects and uploading those videos and photos to the stock agencies. Not everyone is in the privileged position to own an expensive DSLR camera or mirrorless camera, but I have found in my experience that this phone is such a powerful tool now that you shouldn't let that stop you from making money. And I haven't, and I have been able to make money. 3 of my highest selling videos on one stock agency called Shutterstock were created using these phones. So it is possible, and I'm going to tell you how I do it. So what phone should you use? It really doesn't matter, as long as it meets the minimum requirements for photos of the agencies, and as long as it shoots HD footage as a minimum, which is 1080, it really doesn't matter. What do I use? I use this iPhone 2020 SE, and the reason I chose this is because my old phone, my iPhone 4, the applications or the apps would no longer update on it, and effectively I couldn't use it any longer. So about 18 months ago I had to make the decision I need a new phone. And one of the criteria for buying a new phone was the video and the photo capabilities, after price of course, because it had to be cheaper than, you know, these $1,000 phones that are on the market. So I looked up DxO, and I had a look at the Apple lineup because I'm invested in Apple and I don't want to swap over to the Samsung range or any other platform just because I don't have the time or energy to learn another system. And I compared all of the different models, and the iPhone SE was around quarter of the price of an iPhone 11. But its video and photo capabilities were equal to those more expensive models. The only thing it didn't have was the extra wide angle that the iPhone 11 and 12 had. But I wasn't worried too much about that, as long as the footage that came out of it was good quality. Hello. Hello. And as long as the photos were of higher enough resolution and quality to get accepted, that's all that mattered to me. So this thing shoots maximum footage at 4K resolution at 60 frames a second, and it goes all the way down to 720, which I would never use. But that 4K 60 frames is really what I'm looking for. But having said that, you don't need a new phone, and a lot of you probably can't afford a new phone. I mean, I've got a day job, and I could only just afford this. With family and mortgage expenses, you know, the price of living can really prioritize what you're going to spend money on. So if you have a cheaper, older phone, it doesn't matter. In fact, with my iPhone 4, I took one video clip that is my highest earner ever, and just with one agency alone, Shutterstock, it has earned me over $1,000 in income. And that footage clip was a 1080 HD resolution clip, unedited, ungraded with color, and I uploaded that, and it has just been selling like hotcakes ever since. It is the subject that matters rather than your equipment. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars and get yourself in debt with a mirrorless camera or a DSLR. If you have a phone, use it, earn money, use that money and invest it in more expensive equipment if you want, or take your wife out for a weekend or pay off part of your mortgage. It's as simple as that. So what are my biggest sellers? Well, I was walking along a beach about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and I was just out for my morning walk, and I came across this amazing, sad but amazing sight of this huge seabird washed up on the shore and just totally wrapped in plastic. So I just pulled my phone out, I lay down on the sand and got quite close, and it got as stable as I could, but it was very windy. So I was still wobbling a bit, and I videoed this northern Atlantic gannet that was trapped in plastic. And just with 2 stock agencies alone, Pond5 and Shutterstock, I've been able to earn, I have to get this accurate. I've been able to earn over $1,400 of income just with that one video. I think I took the video with 2 angles, so there's 2 versions of it. One's extremely close up and one is a bit wider angle, I think. But $1,400 just with 2 agencies is pretty good. It's also uploaded to iStock, and it sells regularly on there as well. And I made stills that sell regularly on other agencies too. So it's probably up around the $1,500 mark, probably more. And another set of footage that I created with my iPhone was when there was a farmers' protest in The Hague, and I didn't have my camera with me, but hello. But I did have my phone. It was like half a battery, and it was my old iPhone 4. So I wasn't uploading footage to the cloud, it was just going straight to the hard drive of the phone. But despite that, I still managed to take 3 or 4 or 5 footage clips of this demonstration. And those footage clips are regular sellers on the stock agencies as well. And another one that I recently made, I just went out for a walk with my family when there was some heavy snow in The Hague to experience it, and took my phone with me. I'm just looking around to see if anyone else is going to walk through my shot. And I came across this electric car charging while the snow was falling down. And I captured 4K footage of that and uploaded it as an electric car charging in a blizzard. But I just sold that footage clip on Shutterstock for $18 this month, in the month of August. How do I use my phone when I'm out taking photos and videos? Well, I never use a gimbal or any of that kind of stuff, because I mean, if I wanted all of that crap, I'd just lug all of my camera gear along. But for people who don't have a DSLR or video camera, I think some of those stabilization gimbals and stuff could be quite helpful, especially when you're trying to capture motion or put motion into your video clip. A video clip is pretty much useless as a stock asset if it does not have motion in it, because otherwise you could just take a photo of it. If I went to the flower fields, for example, and I wanted to get a close-up of the tulips and put a bit of movement in it if there's no wind or other movement, then I think one of those gimbals would be really valuable, just to like a kind of slider motion along the top of the tulips. So I also use the electronic stabilization in this camera because I don't use those gimbals, and sometimes that can be difficult. Often I'll have to just lie down on the ground just to get some stabilization or a different perspective, a different angle, and I'll also have to brace myself against a tree or just kneel down just to get that extra stability. If you don't have those stabilizing things and you're finding it difficult, just take the video or the photo over and over again until you're satisfied that it's stable enough to meet the criteria of the agencies. If it still has a couple of wobbles in it, then I use stabilization software in Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm sure the free software that is available would also have that stabilization. I'll go into the video software a little bit later. So there are free apps that you can use on your phone to edit your own footage if you don't have a computer. There's one I think called VLLO or Volo. Check out Justin Brown on Primal Video. He gives a lot of tips about different software that you can use for your footage or photo editing. He's on YouTube. And he goes through all of them and does a really good job of explaining which ones are the best for different budgets and applications. When it comes to editing my footage, I use Premiere Pro. I pay a monthly abonnement for that, but you don't have to. You can get some free software called DaVinci Resolve. I'm not sure if that's available for mobile phones, but on the laptop it's totally free of charge, and it is equal to, I think, or in some cases probably better than Premiere Pro, although I'm not an expert. It's definitely more than good enough to upload your phone footage to and edit it. When it comes to uploading phone footage to the agencies, I always transfer my footage to my computer using a USB and software called Image Capture, which comes with my MacBook. But there are other ones out there. I do not recommend emailing the footage to yourself or using mail drop, as I think that can degrade the bit rate or the quality of the footage, and you might risk being rejected by the agencies. When I've finished editing my footage, instead of using an FTP site now, I can upload generally straight to the stock agency's website online. It's just a matter of going to the agency, clicking on upload footage and hitting a button, and it'll upload the footage from my hard drive straight to the website without having to worry about the FTP, which can introduce some complications. So if you have a mobile phone and you need to earn some money, it is a great tool to help you do that. Educate yourself on what makes a great stock photo and stock video, and once you've learnt how to do that, go out there and start trying. That's all you have to do. Just carry your phone with you and try and push yourself out of your comfort zone, so when you see a subject in front of you, it doesn't matter if there are people around you, you take out your phone and you capture that subject. It's often the subjects that make you feel most uncomfortable that will pay you the biggest reward. When I was on that beach, I was lying next to this smelly dead bird wrapped in plastic and videoing it for about 20 minutes, and people were walking past me and I'm sure they thought I was strange. But I didn't care. I knew that this was such a strange and unusual and rare situation that people would want to see that footage. Conservationist websites would use that footage to help their conservation efforts and to protect the environment against plastic. So push past your comfort zone, because you will be rewarded for it. For more tips and tricks on how I make money with stock photography and stock videography, check my other videos on my channel and subscribe. And if you like this video, hit that like button. I'll see you later, guys, and good shooting. Bye.